lucky. Well, so he, just turned my turn. We're all in the line. It's my turn. We get down. Somehow or another, I turned him.
Yeah.
And I put him on his shoulders for. So I don't, it might have been a half second because I was shocked, right? Because usually by a half second, I'm getting a forearm across my nose. My nose just stretched across my face, and like I froze. Like I was like, whoa! And about that time, he come up, man. Oh my gosh, he stretched me from, he stretched me 10 ways from Sunday. But anyway, and each week, each time we show up, there'd be a few less guys, right? So they got to the point where I think there was 4 of us that showed up, and so we knock on the door one day, peek in the window. It's ghost town in there. He packed up and moved to another territory. Wrestling ring never got there. I'm still waiting on that wrestling ring and get in the backyard. The only thing he did, I guess he had to leave. Back then when you worked territories, you had a starting date. Anyway, he had two really nice Rottweilers that he must not have been able to take with him.
Yeah.
So I stole his Rottweilers.
And you continue to this day be a huge dog guy.
Yeah. I love, But I took the dogs. I was like, I'm getting something out of this.
Yeah.
Right.
How long did you have the dogs for?
I gave them good homes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
At this time,
He just pulled a Hank and left the dogs.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
God, what are you thinking? I mean, I ain't giving up. I'm showing up.
Yeah, it's in my blood now.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even had a good taste of anything yet.
Yeah.
But I knew that this was what I wanted to do.
What did you learn in Memphis? What was the learning shops for you? Because you're trapped in this body that would ultimately become a gift. But in that territory, not everybody went to the gym.
Yeah.
What did you learn?
So basically, you learn what the business is all about there, or the way especially the way it was, and it still is now. For that matter. My first trip in there, I had to eat some crap sandwiches and do some things that I was like, I said, there ain't nobody in this building thinks I can whoop everybody in here.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they bring in and don't know what to do. Who's greener than I am? They bring in Soul Taker, who would come, turn out to be Papa Shango and Godfather and all that, right? Yeah. Well, so they didn't know what to do with him, so they put us together.
I got to come in on this one because, man, I remember when you guys were a tag team because you was about to come down to Dallas and work with me, and I was about to get shipped up to Tennessee. These 2 gigantic guys, very intimidating.
Yeah.
Very intimidating because you always had this look about you that kind of says, hey, don't F with me to begin with. And with that size, it works for you, you know what I mean? So you were coming in, and all of a sudden I found out I'm working with the Punisher. Of course, I'd heard about you, and I'd seen you, and I'm like, well, I'm 6'2", 252. I'm a former football player. This guy's a big son of a bitch, but maybe you come up to me, and because you're going to be calling a match, and you go, hey, man, obviously you see I was kind of built, not by today's standards, but
you rocked up.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to be so modest, brother. It's your show.
I was all hooked up, and so we go out there, and dude, I don't know if you remember this or not, but this is the way I remember working with you. Back in the day, you used to call your stuff like when we locked up, you grabbed a headlock on me. You grabbed a headlock on me.
Done it. Got beat.
One tackle, drop down, hip toss, Boy, after all those saws, and because you're basically trying to be a ventriloquist.
Exactly.
And you're coming up with those verbals. So I've always had a hearing problem, and so I ain't hearing nothing. And I told you what? And you saw and called the side spot again, and I said, what? One more time, and he called again after the third, what? Bam, 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 just started chopping meat, and I'm thinking, God dang, I got to get some hearing aids. I thought I could hear these guys trying to shine me up. And so anyway, it was a horrible match because I was so green, and when I look back, and maybe stuff, your posture,
I'm ready for this.
Your blows on the back of the glancing blows, and you gotta go vertically down.
Yeah.
I wasn't honed up at all. A lot of holes in my game, and I was just a drizzling. And you could see that I was lost. And we're out there, cluster effing around But what were you? Do you remember that match at all?
I do remember it. And I remember being in your spot when I come through the first time, and you weren't some scrub. You had a look about you. So I knew. I said I can still get over. You know, I can still get my hand raised, but I can make it mean something. And even though, you know, all right, I've been in the business, you know, a couple years longer, but I'm not where I'm at today. So,
you weren't refined.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like, you know, you definitely at that point, you don't want to have any bad matches.
Correct.
Right? And I'm like, okay, that's 3 times I've said it. I got to do what I got to do at this point. You know,
I agree.
And that's why it was that way. I mean, I tried.
You did.
I tried.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the nature of the beast. And, you know, that's how it is.
Hey man, it's a survivor's business.
It is.
I got to get your read on this story. I go to Tennessee, and I'm looking around. You're already there. Soul Taker's there. We'll get back to your stories.
Right.
But here's where I come into some of your stories. You guys, you may have been green, but I was greener. And all of a sudden, we're out there. I believe it was Louisville, Kentucky. It's a 6-man tag match, and it was you and Soul Taker and somebody else, myself, Dutch Mantel, and somebody else were your opponents. And when I just come to the territory, so I needed someone to ride with.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says, "Hey man, why don't you call Punisher? He's from Texas. Maybe you guys might get along and ride the show with him." I guess you're working maybe that you switched hills. Something happened, but I called you up on the phone, and we kind of squared up a ride, and then they changed the cards. So we'd be working against each other. So you called me and said, "Hey man, we can't ride the show together because I'm working heel." And I said, "All right, man." I said, "Just watch yourself out there." I said, "I'm gonna stretch you." And I said, "I'll see you there." You remember the story? I'll just take over.
Well, I don't remember it being that pleasant.
Yeah.
When I heard it, which was a payphone.
I hate phones.
I was like, it was one of those moments like I was like,
"Oh no, he didn't."
No, he didn't. No, he didn't say that, you know. So then I called Dutch. Or either Dutch was, I think Dutch might even be staying at my apartment there.
Yeah.
I was like, what he just said to me? He said he's going to stretch my ass. He said, what are you going to do about it?
Oh, Dutch.
And that was all it took. Okay, no. This ain't going to go down like that, right? So we got in there. I think I had you locked up some way. I remember Dutch leaning over, going, all right, let him up, you know.
You had me tied up 6 ways from Sunday in a couple damn different chutes, sugar holes, whatever you want to call them. I'm just laying there like, man, because you weren't hurting me, but you just had me tied up. I couldn't do nothing unless you let me go. And I was thinking, really? I mean, what is this all about? I thought we were supposed to hit the ropes and stuff. And so I tagged out. The other guy went in and Dutch looked over and I said, what'd you do? Did you piss him off? You know, Dutch hot.
He stirred it all up.
And so I'm the idiot on the apron. He goes, "Hey, when you get back in there, well, when Soul Taker comes in there, pick his big ass up and slam him." Oh, yeah. So thanks, Dutch. Call my spots where I go in there, pick up big ass Soul Taker, 330, and slam him. And that didn't go over real well.
I can't imagine that going over real good either.
He yanked me up after the match. He goes, "Listen, brother," he goes, "you don't just roll into the ring and pick me up and start slamming me. I'll either tell you to, but you just don't." I mean, he let me know that I had screwed up.
Yeah.
So what got you out there into WCW?
So about that time is when Sid got hurt. When the Steiners suplexed Sid, I think broke a rib, punctured his lung. And then Sid went down. We were about 6'8" guys.
Yeah, man.
Running around. So they called him out there. Hey, you want to come up here and be part of the skyscrapers?
Damn right you do.
You damn right.
Well, y'all look good together, too.
Yeah. I mean, you got 2 6'8" guys. Back then, Danny could still move, and Dan was another one of them legit tough guys. Salty. Danny was legit. I got a great story. So, Danny and I are together, and they're getting ready for Road Warriors. We're going to have a Chicago street fight, big pay-per-view, and we had one of those, one of the clashes. You remember the clashes?
Yeah.
They were free. You know, they were like the mini pay-per-view before the big pay-per-view. We were going to get our heat, right? So we have our match. At the end of the match,
Oh, Jay, you run like a bitch.
Just
follow my
We're
lead.
dominating. You want to quit like a
No,
bitch?
that's all I got, right? So we have our match. We do our, do our.
How long had y'all been together this time?
We have been together a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if he says follow your lead.
Yeah, I'm following his lead.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I'm still the greenhorn.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a role where, stakes are way higher. So I mean, I've gone from the regional territory to one of the big companies. So we have the match. In the match, we get the heat, right? Get some heat, leave them laying. Danny, remember, he didn't like the booking up to this point. So Danny pulls out a chair and he commences to whooping the Road Warriors like ain't nobody seen the Road Warriors get whooped, right? And I'm just kind of there filling up space. But Danny was going to town to the point where I'm like, we're going to fight. Once we get backstage, so I'm still green enough. Like, I'm still into that Road Warrior mystique.
Yeah. They popped it.
Yeah, so I'm still green enough to think that, Road Warriors are, bad dudes, which they were, but, so I'm just watching, and I'm gathering all this, and just wearing them out, right? Boom, finishes, come on. So we go back up, we were Corpus Christi, Texas, and that old leader right there on the water, and we walked up the stairs, and the dressing room was in there, right? So, we come up, and I sit down, and he's probably 4 feet or so down, and I'm right by the door, right? I'm on the edge of my chair. I'm like, I'm not talking to myself, I said, as soon as they come up, well, we're about to go. I can hear, coming up the steps, right? And I've already got myself worked up. So I've got myself perched on the edge of my chair, right?
About to jump the gun.
As soon as somebody says something, I'm coming, right? And
what's this shit?
I kid you not, they come around the corner, and they were like, "Oh, thank you, man, that was great. That was awesome, great heat, right?" And Danny was sitting there, and I'm just sitting there baffled. I'm like, what the hell has just happened here? Yeah, I'm completely dumbfounded for any explanation of what just happened, right?
Right.
And then finally they worked their way down, and good job, kid, and went on about their business, right? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and then finally I just kind of cocked my head and I looked down at Danny. This is what I get from Danny. I just get to go. Then I knew that was Danny.
Right.
Danny knew how they weren't going to test Danny at all. So we get back. We end up getting back to Atlanta. Danny drops me off at the Ramada. He goes, "Hey Mark, when you get to TV tomorrow, tell Ole I'm going home. I'm done." "What do you mean you're done?" He goes, "Man, I had enough. I'm going home." Drop me off. Don't see him again. He just drives off.
So you go into a singles role, right?
Now I've been working my way up as a single. The contract comes up, right? And then, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get a little bump, right? So I go in. I remember Jim Hurd and Jim Barnett and Ole Anderson all in the CNN tower there. I said, "Well, I'll tell you the truth, kid. You're a great athlete. He says, but there's no one's ever gonna pay money to see you wrestle."
You talk about a dagger shot to the liver.
I'm like, wow. I just hear that. And it was Ole. He looked me square in the eyes. He says, "No one will ever pay money to watch you wrestle." And I knew at that point, I was like, okay, I'm done here.
And so, all of a sudden, they got nothing for you. No one's going to pay nothing to see you wrestle. You're trying to go to the big show, which we all know that's really where you want to be.
Yeah, it was another hit to my pride. Like, okay, that became kind of difficult at that point. Paul Heyman was my manager at this point. And so Paul's kind of relaying the information, like, look, they're not going to do anything with this guy. Why don't you see if you guys can do something with him?
Paul sees something.
Yeah, Force Mutual Insurance. How can we help you?
He's trying to,
I think we can do that.
Yes.
I remember I'd already set up a meeting to, come meet with Vince. I'm just thinking, okay, well, one, I'm going to the house, right? I'm going to Vince's house. So I'm like, I got this, right? So, I go to the house. So Paul,
I know he was tied in.
Oh, he was tied in deep, right? So we worked in the Meadowlands, and my meeting was going to be the next day. So he goes, okay, well, we'll go to China Club tonight, and then, you know, we'll go back, and then, you know, they were sending the car service to pick me up, you know. I'm golden, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, back then, I had the Zubaz, tank top, with the cowboy boots, and a Halliburton, you know. I had that was the look, right?
All the trademark stuff?
Yeah, all the trademark stuff. So I had to go buy some clothes, right? Paul had this little bitty sports car. So I go to sit down in his car, right? And I ripped the ass completely. I ripped the ass out of those pants. I mean, there's a hole in my pants. And now I'm headed to the China Club, right?
Of course you are.
But more importantly on my mind is tomorrow morning I'm going to Vince's house and meet with Vince, right? And I'm freaking out now, like Paul. He's like, don't worry about it. I'll get one of these girls, you know, one of the girls will sew them up, it'll be fine, right? I'm like, Paul, I was like, come on. I said, I got to get these fixed. No, they'll be able to do it, right? So we go to the China Club, right? China Club is, you can't, there's so many people in there, you can't hardly even move, right? There's nobody got time to sew up a pair of pants as much, you know.
Yeah.
So I sit down all night long in one spot because I don't want to walk around with my damn ass hanging out of these pants, right? So, you know, it's 4 in the morning by the time I get back to his house. And I'm trying to dig through some of his mom's needling thread. I ain't sewed nothing, right? And I'm trying to sew these pants up, right? Piecemeal them together, right? So it's all I can think about, right? They pick me up the next day. I go to the house, right? I'm trying to keep my back away from everybody because I don't want them to see these pants. And I showed up, you know, I'll rag them up, and we have the meeting. It's going along. The meeting's going along pretty well. I feel like I'm being, you know, I'm being pretty charming, and you know, and then I get the question, "You got any hidden talents?"
Wow,
you know? So I'm trying to be funny, right? And I'm trying to, well, you know, I'm a pretty good singer. I sing in the shower pretty good, you know. And as soon as I said it, I knew I shouldn't have, right? It was like, oh crap. I mean, this is the time they got some pretty outlandish gimmicks going on, you know. And I'm just thinking, I wish I hadn't said that. You know, Vince, how he is. Oh, really? I'm singing in the shower, huh? And then on the inside, I'm just cringing. I'm no selling on the outside, but on the inside, I'm thinking, you screwed up. You're going to be shower boys, something like that, you know. So we get to the end of the meeting, and like, well, we don't really have anything right now. Wasn't expecting that. You know, I already given my notice. I'm done. You know, I'm already done with WCW at this point. That was it. Wow, I didn't plan on that happening. So, you know, I've already been told by one company they ain't no way gonna pay money to see me. Now this guy's, you know, he don't have a spot for me. Maybe after Mania. We're still talking months and months away at that point, you know. So I'm trying to stay positive. You know, I know I've got in me somewhere to, you know, to make it somewhere, but it's a little shaky there for a minute.
So you're hanging on by a thread. You're doing what you can to maintain, get by, and then there's a phone call. Now, I want you to tell me about your version of the phone call. I got, you know, kind of the same phone call you got. Back end of the phone was attached to the wall, and we had to take it to the cord, you know. Yeah, big time. Oh yeah. You guys walk around.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
And I got a phone call. That's Steve, Mr. McMahon. Got an idea for you, pal. I'll bring you in as a ringmaster. Andy Johnson's your manager. Bring you in as a $1 million champion. Come in as a champion. Mass in the ring. Well, I'm sitting there like, I'm working for Paulie, you know, one day a week, ECW. And, you know, WCW fired me because they said I wasn't marketable and I was never going to amount to a hill of beans over the phone. So I'm kind of, we've got a lot in common here. And I heard that gimmick and it sounded like crap, but I'm just thinking, hey man, you know, I got a wife and a kid and I got a mortgage payment. Yeah, I'm a ringmaster. But I just knew it was my foot in the door. I wasn't excited about it. Yeah. So that was my phone call. I know you got a phone call as well. So where were you at this time? But before you tell me where you were at this time, you got something.
Yeah, before I get into this story, I'm going to need some of that. That's what I'm talking about. Why did you wait so long?
I didn't know if you still drink anymore.
Well, I don't much, but when I do, I do. So that's perfect, man.
Let's get to
What kind of feminizing?
because I still left my gun.
No.
Big ass phone call.
So, there's men here.
So about the time I got my phone call, they was doing this promotion where on the show, you know, back then they would do 3-4 weeks in a row. They had this gigantic egg on the set. Yeah, you got it. There it is. So now I'm at home, right? And I'm trying to think, you know, everything I can do. I'm trying to grow my hair out. You know, I'm trying to come up with a different look, whatever it's going to take, right?
We're always searching.
So this egg appears on the show, right? And then all of a sudden my mind just starts going like, oh man, they're going to bring me in. Now this is how outlandish the gimmicks were then too. Like I'm going to be Eggman. I had convinced myself to the point where like my stomach hurt, but I'm going to be Eggman.
Are you a werewolf?
Huh?
Are you a werewolf?
No, I'm as chill as usually, but this is I'm at a different point now.
Yeah.
I'm at a different point than I was. I've already you know, had a few doors slammed in my face at this point and struggled and, you know, to be told that I'm, you know, nobody's going to pay to see me work. So I'm going through all these scenarios. You know, I'm growing my hair out, right? I got the bogus ponytail. It sticks out straight, you know. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to be Eggman. They're going to make me shave my head. They're going to make me shave my eyebrows. They're going to make me shave everything. I'm going to be Eggman. That's going to be my gimmick, right? And I've got myself believing that I'm going to come out of this egg right here. And that's what's going to be, I'm going to be Mr. Clean or whatever, right? I'm just like, please don't call. But I just know it's me, right? So one day, phone rings. Go pick it up. Like we used to have to do. Go pick the phone up. Hello? Yeah, is this the Undertaker? Yeah. Now this is going through my mind, right? Now Vince, he's already, and I'm not even sure that it's Vince, but I think it is, but I'm not sure. Like I'm thinking somebody might be ribbing me, right?
No caller ID.
Yeah, no caller IDs, right? Is this the Undertaker? So I'm thinking in my head, like, quick, right? I'm like, Undertaker. I sure as hell ain't Eggman. Yeah, this is the Undertaker. All right, can you? This is Vince. Can you be up here tomorrow? Yes, sir. I'll be up there tomorrow. And that was. I had no clue what Undertaker, what that was, what it meant, but it sounded a whole lot cooler than Eggman. You know.
So you hang up. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, all right, here we go. You know, I don't know what
got one on the line.
I got one on the line. I don't know what it is. You know, but like you said, my foot's in the door now. And then, you know, I got up, and yeah, these are some of the, you know, and I was like, I was mesmerized right away by it.
So what are you thinking? Because, man, you come from old school, and you come from WCW, and it was that working territory. You were wearing the trunks, athletic dude, and now this is a total gimmick. This is a character.
Yeah.
You're an athlete.
Yeah.
But right away you're entranced by it.
I'm entranced by it because there's always, you know, I mean, there really is a darker element, the stuff that I really used to kind of be interested in. So I started identifying, you know, because, you know, he's the storyboards, you know, he's an old Western Undertaker. Yeah. And you remember in the old Westerns,
I didn't mean to blow myself up.
They had the gunfight out in Main
Not
Street.
even twice,
and
not
Undertaker
even
come
once.
out and measure, see how long, you know, he's going to make the box, right? So
Let's
saying,
find
okay,
one more
that's
person.
cool, but it took me a while to put it all together. At that point, I'm doing leapfrogs, drop downs.
Oh,
I'm still
come
working
on.
like Mean Mark.
You think you know me?
One more person. One more person. Get me.
With Edge making a return at the 2020 Royal Rumble and becoming the talk of the wrestling world recently, I feel now would be a good time to go back and look at his humble beginnings in wrestling. Adam Copeland has had an extremely decorated and storied career, filled with ups and downs, big wins and key moments, but it always did seem that he was destined to be great. Once Edge made it to the WWE main event picture, he never really left. Once Edge made it to the WWE main event picture, he never really left, going on to become one of wrestling's true standout superstars. Edge's return this year was special for a lot of reasons. When Edge was forced into retirement, it felt like he was ripped away from wrestling while he was still in his prime. While Edge was at peace with going home and stepping away from the ring, fans were legitimately upset that one of the greats was gone too soon. When Edge's theme music hit at the Royal Rumble nearly 9 years after he retired, it created one of those moments in wrestling that don't come often, but when they do, you just know you're witnessing something special, something that will be replayed over and over again for years to come. Edge somehow managed to keep his emotions held in as he ran into the Royal Rumble match to one of the most thunderous ovations in recent memory. So let's go way back to the beginning of Edge's WWF career and take a look at how he was introduced to audiences, his early portrayal of the Edge character, and his first lot of matches. Adam Copeland was born on October 30th, 1970. His mother was a single parent, stating that he had never met or seen a picture of his father. Growing up, he was into hockey, the band, and he became captivated by wrestling after seeing Hulk Hogan on TV. He met his lifetime best friend Christian, real name Jason Rizzo, in the 6th grade, and the two would grow up together and eventually work together. The two were inseparable during their younger days, and they both attended wrestling shows together, trying to get autographs and pictures with their favourite superstars. In high school, Edge's friends voted him as most likely to become WWF champion. His friends in high school weren't wrong. Edge attended WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, with his mother explaining that it was hard for her to afford tickets, but she wanted Adam to see his childhood hero, Hulk Hogan. Edge explained that WrestleMania 6 was the first time he felt electricity at a wrestling show, further cementing the fact that he wanted to become a professional wrestler and nothing would stop him. After finishing high school, Edge and Christian noticed a competition was being held to receive free wrestling training from Sweet Daddy Siggy and Ron Hutchison. To enter, the guys had the right to say on why they wanted to become a professional wrestler, and Edge won the competition. Both Ron and Sweet Daddy Siggy agreed that Adam was a good-looking guy, he would be marketable, and he was level-headed. Edge said that his training was difficult, he didn't have it easy, but he did stick with it. To make sure he had something to fall back on if wrestling didn't work out, Edge attended college while taking a small and infrequent programs began in 1992. Edge graduated with a degree in radiology, choosing this subject because he was shy. Edge felt that radio was attractive and helped him come out of his shell away from the young as a performer. Christian eventually started training using a run from his college friends, and the two began working together around Ontario. These weren't necessarily independent shows that Edge would work on the radio. It was more like squash shows that old timers would put on in gyms and high schools. Edge and Christian would find quite a bit of work in the of motion-based education. Edge's work with Adam Copeland had an impact and set the Now, on Edge's WWE DVD documentary, they tell the story that Edge gets a call from the WWF and gets a fight off the call. This much is true, but the documentary fails to mention that Edge worked in WCW before his WWF career. Edge worked as a human striker and had 2 matches, 2 squash matches, in Ontario, Paul DeMarco saw one of Edge's matches in person and he suggested that he sent a tape to the WWF. This is how Edge got the tryout match against Bob Holly shortly after his WCW matches. Paul DeMarco was the president of the WWF's Canadian operations from 1995 all the way to 2009, and along with this, he was also Bret Hart's business manager. Thanks to this relationship with the Hitman, Paul DeMarco was able to facilitate a meeting between in 1996. Edge traveled to Calgary and met Bret Hart, with Bret saying he could see how the Edge walked out with Bret, giving his credit to the Hitman along with Ken Shamrock, Bret, and when all was said and done, Bret promised Edge he would do them a few months later, Edge got a phone call saying there was a possible contract waiting for him in the WWF. Edge went to Stanford where he was surprised to learn he would be having a short match with Michael Hayes, and after the match, Michael Hayes told Jim Ross that Edge was definitely a keeper. JR offered Edge a developmental contract of $210 per week, and Edge accepted the contract. WWE also agreed to sell
that's insult English.
So Edge made his WWF debut on the June 22nd edition of Raw, defeating AJ Estrada for the contract. This Stanford where he was surprised to learn he would be having a short match with Michael Hayes, and after the match, Michael Hayes told Jim Ross that Edge was definitely a keeper. JR offered Edge a developmental contract of $210 per week, and Edge accepted the contract. The WWE also agreed to pay for Edge's outstanding college debt of around $40,000. So Edge made his WWF debut on the June 22nd edition of Raw, defeating Jose Estrada via countout. Edge made his entrance through the crowd, with Jim Ross telling us that Edge is some sort of tortured soul, and nothing else was really wrong about him. Just a quick side note also, Edge had plenty of WWF experience. He had worked a ton of block matches on Shotgun Saturday Night and on Raw. Anyway, back to Edge's debut, and during his entrance, clips of his Titantron flashed on the screen as this mysterious tortured soul made his way to, and nobody, not even Edge, knew what the character was supposed to be. Adam had given himself the Edge name, but apart from that, he didn't know what his character's motives were or what he was trying to put across on TV. Edge later said, "I don't think the WWE knew what to do with Adam Copeland. I don't think Adam Copeland knew what to do with Adam Copeland. They said, okay, we want you to be this mysterious guy. I mean, it was all very cool visually, but I had no idea what it was and nobody else did either. I was just this silent guy who would occasionally scream because I didn't know what to do." So Edge's debut wrestling didn't go too well. The match ended prematurely when he performed a somersault senton from the ring to the outside, and he landed on his opponent with a Estrada quite comfortably and legitimately injured. Estrada stayed on the outside and got counted out, and Edge left through the audience and of note though, Edge's very first offensive move on TV was a spear. Edge was then moved on to Shotgun Saturday Night and Sunday Night Football, and the matches were his next big match came at SummerSlam 1998. Sabre had been feuding with Jacqueline and Rock Merrill, and at SummerSlam, Sabre was scheduled to represent Merrill and Jacqueline in a title match. Edge was presented as Sabre's supreme partner. It's interesting to watch this one. There was very few participants in this title match. Edge would go on to have the greatest success, but Edge must have been the most nervous person in the background. SummerSlam 1998 was held in Madison Square Garden, and although Edge had some television exposure and worked in the entertainment, nothing could compare to the garden of all things considered, the match went on without a hitch, with Edge and Sabre getting the win. Just before SummerSlam, a new superstar appeared on the screen as Gangrel, and Edge took the music from Gangrel was his responses from the audience. Soon enough, the two would be involved in a series of match on the September 14th implied that Gangrel and Edge had some sort of past, but everything was kept in the walls. Not much information was given about their possible history. Their match on this episode of Raw ended in a double countout where Edge missed the drive over the top rope. And we were left wondering what the relationship between Edge and Gangrel was. Breakdown was hosted in Ontario, Canada, and going up against fellow Canadians Bret Hart was a good bit of fun. This match also gave Edge a chance to show that he was having decent matches on Raw, but this match here was really hard to allow him to stand up. If I was doing this as a match compilation with his last matches, then I'd start with this one for sure. Anyway, in the closing moments of the match, a new superstar appeared at ringside, distracting Edge and allowing Bret Hart to go away and transfer. Edge seemed to know who this guy was, and after the match, he went looking for him through the crowd. This new
knocked out by a girl.
And below the surface, this moment here makes the event a lot for both guys. After their long road together, going up like into the wrestlers, working together and training together, here they finally were in front of a live pay-per-view audience at a WWF show. The next night on Raw, both Person and Gangrel distracted Edge and cost him a victory. There's little point in me going further from here, as Edge would become a member of the Valour faction, and I've already made a video on this topic. If you want to continue on looking at Edge's early WWF days, I recommend checking the Valour video next. Shortly after the Valour faction dissolved, Edge and Christian became a full-time tag team, and this is where we will pick up in the future. But hopefully you enjoyed this quick look back at Edge's beginnings in the WWE, and if you're a more modern fan, hopefully you have a better understanding of how Adam quickly got into the wrestling business. Thanks for watching.
Come on, motherfucker.
You're dead! We got a man down! You piece of shit!
They're supposed to be taking out my smoke bombs. What the hell happened? I know we can get this.
After movies such as The Lost Boys and Interview with the Vampire done a lot to make vampires pretty cool, and before movies like Twilight killed that cool factor totally, WWF was smart enough to introduce a trio of vampire-like characters to the company, which actually somehow worked. Many fans like to say that the mid-90s in WWE was a period of time that was filled with cartoony and ridiculous gimmicks, but let's not forget that vampires were blending in with porn stars and pimps in the Attitude Era. To get it out of the way early, WWF actually never referred to the Brood as vampires on commentary or otherwise. Instead, commentators would say they were known for living a gothic lifestyle. Clearly, to you and me, when you see a guy with fangs, drinking blood and all that, you immediately think vampire. But for whatever reason, WWE never referred to the group as such. But they were fucking vampires. Even stranger is the fact that commentators would never call Gangrel's favourite drink blood, but instead refer to it as a thick red liquid. Contrary to this though, the Brood organised bloodbaths for their opponents, which was totally fine to be referred to as blood. Weird. This must have been something to do with standards and practices back in the day, where WWE wasn't allowed to show someone drinking blood. But let's take some time to look at the Brood, starting off with how the trio all came together in the WWF. So we'll begin with both Edge and Christian. The duo were high school friends growing up who were absolutely obsessed about wrestling. Both Christian and Edge received training from Ron Hutchison. However, Edge also had the pleasure of getting training from Sweet Daddy Siki, and eventually Edge also got informal training from Bret Hart at the famous Hart Dungeon. Edge received a tryout match with the WWF after finding work in Japan and WCW. Christian went along with him, and the pair worked against each other in a tryout match for Vince McMahon. Edge received a contract and he went through the developmental stage to WWE. Eventually, he was promoted to full-time touring with the WWF, and he put in a good work with Christian during this time. Christian then got invited to the WWF along with Dory Funk training camp in 1998. After completing the camp, Christian signed a contract also with the WWF to become a full-time worker. Gangrel, during the NXT, was trained by Jake Boris Monster and looked around Florida during the early days of his career. Before his first WWF run, David worked for HPW on the tag team with Tom Nash, known as the Blackhearts. The Blackhearts even found what in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Tom Nash was married to Luna Vachon, and their marriage eventually fell apart. David and Luna then became romantically involved with each other, and the pair married on Halloween in 1994. Heath and Luna developed the Vampire Warrior gimmick, which is the moniker David took on before breaking away from the Blackhearts. The Vampire Warrior worked for many promotions across America, including the USWA, before making his way to the WWF in 1993. David worked as a masked heel named the Black Phantom. He was used as a jobber, losing to the likes of the 1-2-3 Kid, Razor Ramon, Lex Luger, and Earthquake. After this first WWF run, David travelled to ECW to work alongside Tommy Dreamer and Luna, and also worked in WCW before making his way back to Vince McMahon in 1998. Edge made his WWF television debut in 1998 on the June 22nd episode of Raw, and Gangrel made his debut on the August 16th episode of Sunday Night Heat. Edge had been working as a mysterious loner character, so we didn't really know much about him, except that he liked to walk around streets and shout quite a lot. Edge said that even he himself didn't know what the character was supposed to be. David Heath, however, was thrown straight into the Gangrel gimmick upon his return. The name Gangrel came from the White Wolf tabletop RPG game, Vampire the Masquerade. Gangrel was a type of vampire clan in the game. I'm not going to pretend for a moment that I know anything about the White Wolf games, but those with an attention to detail would notice that WWE would have to give White Wolf props and copyright disclaimers when Gangrel was used in things like video games or merchandise. Edge and Gangrel would eventually be booked into a feud against each other, with Gangrel working as the heel and Edge working as the babyface. At Breakdown in Your House, Edge was involved in a match against fellow Canadian Owen Hart. During this match, Christian made his WWE debut, distracting Edge and aligning himself with Gangrel. It was then revealed that Christian and Edge were, in storyline, brothers. In Christian's first ever televised match, he went on to capture the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship. Eventually, Gangrel and Christian convinced Edge to join them. On the October 26th episode of Raw, during a match between Kane and Gangrel, Edge ran in and attacked Kane to show
One more
his allegiance to
person,
Gangrel.
two more people.
The three of them formed an alliance known as the Gangrel. Kane and Gangrel. On the October 26th episode of Raw, during a match between Kane and Gangrel, Edge ran in and attacked Kane to show his allegiance to Gangrel and his brother. The three of them formed an alliance known as the Brood. In their first match as a group, the Brood defeated the Oddities on the November 1st episode of Heat. The group would also have a match with D-Generation X on Raw shortly after, and at In Your House Rock Bottom, the Brood defeated the Job Squad featuring Al Snow, Scorpio and Bob Holly in a 6-man tag team match. One of the coolest and most memorable things about the Brood was their entrance and theme song. The Brood's entrance frequently gets ranked as one of the best entrances in WWE history, as the trio would rise from the ground surrounded by fire and lights. The Brood's theme music was also very fitting for the stable and is still well remembered and liked today. What you may not know though is that the Brood's theme music also had a secret hidden message in it. Gangrel said, "If you have the right skills and technology to play it backwards," and the guy who did the music, Jim Johnson, was a big Beatles fan. So it says, "I buried Paul, walk with me." So here, have a listen to the Brood's theme music played backwards and see if you can hear this message. I buried Paul, my life. So just to clarify for those who maybe didn't know, the Beatles were involved in the spread of backmasking both as a recording technique and as a centre of controversy. A radio station once received a caller who asked the DJ about a rumour that Beatle Paul McCartney had died and claimed that the Beatles song Revolution 9 contained a backward message confirming the rumour. The DJ played the song backwards on his turntable and heard the words, "Turn me on, dead man." Along with this was a rumour that the track "I'm So Tired" by the Beatles had a backwards message that said, "Paul is a dead man, miss him, miss him." Paul McCartney didn't die, obviously, but this was a wacky shit people did in the past time in the 60s and early 70s. So it's just a little bit of background there about the message. It's a really cool visual, and it wasn't really overplayed, so it was fine. I think it was the Brood. Down the road, the Brood would end up getting abducted and converted into the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness, as the Undertaker thought he could definitely have some good use for these gothic lifestyle living superstars in his quest to conquer the WWE. It was the Brood who helped lower the rope to Undertaker in his infamous Hell in a Cell match with the Big Boss Man in WrestleMania 15. In the end, Christian let some information slip that negatively affected the Ministry of Darkness, and Edge and Gangrel would be commanded by Undertaker to punish Christian by sacrificing him. Edge and Gangrel refused and left the Ministry of Darkness. At Backlash in their house in '99, the Brood faced Ministry members Bradshaw, Ford, and Midian in a losing effort. The Brood then entered a feud with the Hardy Boys, who were, at the time, managed by Michael Hayes. Edge and Christian were showing good promise as a tag team, and it seemed their tag matches gelled much better than combinations including Gangrel. After nearly a year of being together, on the July 11th, '99 episode of Sunday Night Heat, Gangrel turned on Edge during a match with the Public Ministry. Gangrel subsequently tried to convince Christian to do the same, but Edge and Christian ended up splitting away from Gangrel. This wouldn't necessarily be the end for the Brood, at least the name. The new Brood was formed after the Hardy Boys dumped Michael Hayes as their manager in August '99, while also turning heel in the and on the sales with Gangrel. Terry Reynolds also had been showing an interest in the League, and they went on to eventually bring Terry's services as a manager after the Terry Reynolds invitation was made. This led to the Hardy Boys dumping Gangrel. Terry Reynolds invitation was ended with WWF No Mercy in a ladder match between the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. The match was revolutionary for the time, as all four men put their bodies through an incredible amount of stress. This led to all four men seeing a standing ovation the next night of Raw from the Sellout Brawl. On the same night, the Hardy Boys announced that they were not the new Brood, they were the Hardy Boys, and this led to all four men in the ring giving Gangrel a good time after being and thus the Brood ended again.
Get that son of a bitch!
We all know that Edge and Christian would go on, which is both tag team and single wrestlers, but to be brief, they both had great success, in particular Edge, who went on to become a huge name in WWE. What about Gangrel? Gangrel remained in the WWE, but was used mainly as a mid to lower card talent. He worked alongside his wife Luna for a brief while, but was let go of his contract in 2001. The rumour was that, as ridiculous as this sounds, his shirt once came up over his gut during a match, and Vince McMahon was so repulsed by his out-of-shape body that he got fired. I'm not making this up, by the way, it's a fact. From 2001 right up until this very day, Gangrel works in the Indies and has had quite a fair bit of success, thanks mainly to the widely popular WWF Attitude Era that he was involved in. He's always offered to his service for worked with Shakara and Physical, along with a multitude of other promotions in the US and UK. Gangrel made some appearances for WWE in the years that followed, and even signed to return to the company on 2 occasions. In 2005, he was given another WWE contract and he appeared in WWE. He was released, however, before anything came of it. The following year, Gangrel was re-signed as a potential for WWE's newest brand, ECW, to appear in a vampire stable with Kevin Thorne and Ariel, possibly another iteration of the Brood, but he never appeared. He did appear, though, on the 15th anniversary of WWE in 2007, where he participated in the 15-man Battle Royal. The style, the ambience, and the theme music of the Brood sure was memorable, and the stable helped springboard the careers of Edge and Christian, while also giving Gangrel some purpose in the WWE for a short time. For these reasons, while it's short-lived, we have to look at the Brood as nothing but a success in the WWE that is fondly remembered today.
Snowing. Let's drink. Chill out. Come on. Thing sticks. That's gonna be the end of that. Took their asses out. I'm the man. Now I'm going to bed. I'm the man. Now I'm going to bed. Think I just sit there and fuck black out or anything.